All right, guys, moving on with circles. We took a look yesterday at the parts of a circle, talked about the center point, the diameter, the line being all the way across the circle, the radius, the line going halfway across the circle, half of the diameter, and the circumference, the distance around the whole circle, also known as perimeter. Today we're going to talk about the areas of circles. We got another formula. Geometry is really all about formulas. So you might want to make yourself a sheet of formulas about circumference of circles, areas of circles, volumes of these figures. Make yourself one master list, like a reference sheet of all your formulas so you can check them out. Here's our area of circles formula. Area of a circle, as simple as this. Pi times radius squared. Remember, for pi, we're always using 3.14. And radius squared, that means we're doing a second power. So it's not like circumference we multiply by 2. Now we're doing a second power squared. All right, here's my circle. Here's my line. My line goes halfway across. That means that this 5 is a radius. That's great. Since the radius is 5, they just take 5 and put it right into place for radius. Radius 5, replace the r with 5. Replace the pi with 3.14. Notice they give you an approximate equals. You give you an approximate equals because 3.14 is an estimate for pi. So technically, when we use 3.14, every answer we get is not exact because 3.14 is an estimated number for pi. So 3.14 times whatever 5 squared is, remember do exponent, then multiply. Square the radius, that's 25. Multiplying together, you get 78.5. Label your answer, square centimeters, or you could label it centimeters squared to the second power. That's how we find area of a circle. A couple of variations when we do the Khan Academies, but that's how you find area of a circle. Let's take a look at it. Finding area of a circle. Look for the word area of a circle with a radius of 8. All right, so area formula is pi times radius squared. And they give me the radius. The radius is 8. Just replace r with 8. So it equals pi's decimal, 3.14, times the radius is 8 squared. Well, 8 squared is 64. And 64 times pi, grab my calculator, 64 times 3.14 equals 200.96. And there's no unit label. There's no centimeters, meters, inches, feet, whatever. So it's just unit squared. So on Khan Academy, you type in 200.96. They don't say what to round to. They don't say to round to the 10th place or the 100th place or whatever. So since my decimal gave me a 100th place answer, I'll leave it that way. Okay? Oh, let's take a look at the next one. Area of this circle. Area of this circle. Well, this time I don't have a radius. This line goes all the way across. This line is the diameter. But diameter is not part of my formula. My formula is area equals pi times radius squared. Diameter can't help me. I need a radius. So I got to take this diameter and split it in half to make a radius. So halfway across this circle, half of 8 is 4. That goes in for radius. So I'll multiply 3.14 times 4 squared. Well, 4 squared is 16. My calculator tells me that 3.14 times 16 is the answer of an area for that circle, 50.2. Sorry about that. 50.24 units. Anytime you have diameter, area formula needs a radius. Not going to help for diameter. You're going to need to take that diameter, cut it in half, make it into a radius, use radius in the formula. That's pretty simple. This gets a little more complicated. Find the area of a circle with a circumference of 18.84. Oh boy, circumference. They're giving me circumference. If this is my circle, circumference goes all the way around. I don't want circumference. I want radius. So if you were from yesterday, circumference is equal to pi times the diameter. So let's take this 18.84 and put it in place of what they say it is, circumference. 18.84 is equal to, replace pi with a decimal, times diameter. All right, divide to solve that equation. Divide both sides by 3.14. And do some calculation, 18.84 divided by 3.14. That means that my diameter is equal to 6. Diameter. Diameter is not part of my area formula. Area is pi times radius squared. Well, if diameter is 6 all the way across, radius halfway across is only 3. Now this number goes into this formula. So I had to work out a formula to find diameter, change diameter into radius, and now take radius and put it into my area formula. Multi-step problems. Got to put all these skills together sometimes. Area is equal to 3.14 times the radius we figured out is 3 squared. Well, 3 squared is 9. And my calculator says 3.14 times 9 is a final area of 28.26 units. A little bit extra work there. You had to take the circumference, work backwards, figure out the diameter, take the diameter, cut it into a radius, to take your radius and put it into your area formula. Area formula requires a radius. Took a little bit of work to get there. These are circles. Well, what if I take my circle and start breaking it up? A semicircle. A semicircle is half of a circle. Therefore, to find the area of a semicircle, it's the circle formula, pi times radius squared, and half of that. That should be obvious, right? Semicircle looks like this. Ish. Sorry for the messy drawing. Find the area of a semicircle that has a diameter of 9.4. Diameter all the way across, 9.4. First things first, diameter is no good. I need to have a radius. So take 9.4 divided by 2. And the radius halfway across that semicircle is 4.7. So it's pi times radius squared, pi times the radius squared, and do half of that. You can multiply by a half if you want, or if you want to, you could also divide by 2. Multiply by a half and divide by 2, get you the same answer. My final answer is 34.7. Really, they should give me a label since this is in millimeters. This should be millimeters squared. All right, let's see how they look on this Khan Academy. There's that semicircle, half of a circle. This red line goes all the way across. Take a look at where it's labeled. It's labeled in the middle. It's labeled in the middle. That means it's going all the way. If they're showing you radius, they would label it like here. Then it'd be halfway. So diameter of this is 6. So the semicircle formula for the area is pi times radius squared, and then times a half. Or you could say pi times radius squared divided by 2. Give you the same answer in the end, but I don't have a radius, I have a diameter. Take the 6, make it a radius. If the 6 is diameter, radius is 3. So put 3 in place of the r, so it's 1/2 times pi times the radius of 3 squared. Well, 3 squared is 9, so 9 times pi times a half. Well, I don't like using a half. I'll just use 0.5. Same difference. Gives me a final answer of 14.13 units squared. Remember, half is a 0.5. You can multiply by 0.5 if you want. And remember that the half in the formula had nothing to do with taking the diameter, cutting it in half to make a radius. I need a radius measurement to use in my formula. All right, last but not least, now we're going to take these circles, cut them up into weird pieces. That circle is now cut into, how much of the circle is that? Would you say that that is 3/4 of the circle? So here they give me a measurement right here. This measurement 4, that goes from the edge to the middle. That's a radius. So the area of that Pac-Man or whatever it is, I'm going to use my basic pi times radius squared formula. But now I don't want half of it. I want 3/4 of it. I want 3/4 of that circle. So let's do some substitution. I'm going to take 3/4, make it a decimal. Make it 0.75. That'll make it easier to multiply. Times pi is 3.14. Get used to it. Times the radius. They gave me that. That's 4 squared. So let's do some calculation here. 0.75 times 3.14 times 4 squared, which is 16. Gives me a grand total of 37.68 units. Some of these are going to be just a quarter of the circle. It'll just be like this piece right here. It won't have any of this. If it's a quarter of the circle, I'm not finding 3/4, I'm finding 1/4. 0.25 would be a decimal you'd use there. But it all comes back to the original area of a circle formula, and then you're going to break it up into the piece that you're given. 3/4, 1/4, or for a semicircle, just half. All right, go ahead and find some areas of circles. Have fun.